What's up, guys? It's Chris with Real Amigos here with episode 13 of our show. We're doing things a little bit different. As you can tell, it's just me. And the reason is because normally when I try to give the plugs on the show, Donnie and Phil just talk over me. So we're going to do it here instead. What I want you to know is that we are an audio and a video podcast, and we talk about movies. If you are new to the podcast, we're glad that you decided to download and to either listen or watch our show. We hope that you come back. If you're a regular listener, you kind of already know this. Our show goes up every Friday on the podcast service of your choice: Google Play, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, SoundCloud. It's all out there. And then our video also goes up on Friday morning as well. And you're going to find that on YouTube. So you can search for Real Amigos. That's how you can either watch or hear the show. This is what I'll ask. If you listen or if you watch, there are two things that I would ask you to do. Number one, if you like the show, I would ask that you subscribe to it, whether you subscribe on the podcast service or you subscribe on YouTube. Subscriptions just help our visibility. It helps more people find the show and helps us to grow the audience. If you really like the show, what I would ask you to do is actually let us know. You can do that on YouTube by pounding the I think it's maybe like here, that little thumbs up button. That tells us that you like the video, gives us that feedback. Again, that will help boost us up in the search ratings there, or the search results. If you're on the audio version, what you do is you just rate us. Every service has their own form of rating the podcast. Most of them are based on stars, so we'd ask that you be honest. I mean, if you don't like the show, let us know, but even not liking the show helps get us feedback so we know what we can do better, and it also helps again, boost us up as people are searching for shows like ours. The last plug I will share is that we do have a Facebook community group, and so we're trying to utilize that to kind of build a community around the movies that we like and the movies that we talk about. And so if you aren't already a part of that, we would ask that you would join. All you have to do is go to facebook.com and search for Real Amigos. You can find that there. We'll accept you. We've been pulling like the Q&A questions from there. We've been pulling the 20 questions movie answers from there so far. So that's where you're going to be able to find that. Now, there's a couple of other small things before we roll into the show. First off, our normal cadence has been a movie and then a topical episode. Now, that's not going to change except for right now. Last week, in episode number 12, we talked about movies that disappointed us. And so, if you listen to that, we appreciate that. It would normally be a movie this week, but we're actually going to go another topical episode this week, and we're going to talk about movies that inspire us. Now, the reason that we do that isn't really important. We're just changing the schedule around a little bit. But you are going to get these two topical episodes back to back. And then next week, we'll be back to our regular cadence, and we will talk about a movie. Next week, we're actually going to talk about the 1982 classic First Blood, which is the first Rambo film starring Sylvester Stallone. Now that you have a whole week to prepare, hopefully you guys will be able to watch the movie if you want to be part of that conversation and actually know some of the things that we're talking about. So if you're listening to this right now, you're going to enjoy the show now, and then next week we'll talk about First Blood. One little side thing I wanted to go over. We've been having some technical issues, and we're trying to work through those. This week we actually got the audio working pretty well. Hopefully you guys enjoy the boost up in audio quality. Donnie doesn't sound like he's little Timmy lost in the well anymore. However, on the video side, it's just really jacked up. If you watch the video version of our show, it's going to look like a really bad 1960s kung fu movie that's been dubbed. And so I apologize for that. I asked the guys, should we just scrap it and just do the audio version? And they're like, no, let's put it out. So for me, I'm OCD, so it's very hard for me to watch. But if you are watching, we hope that you enjoy it. Maybe it will bring you a little fun. We're working on that. Hopefully in the future we'll get that solved. Hopefully in the next few episodes. I think that's it, guys. I'm excited about tonight's show. Episode 13 is about movies that inspire us. As you know from the show, I'm very easily moved to tears with films. There's a lot of movies that fit this list. But there's a couple tonight that are going to surprise you. I had one, and then Phil had one that came out of nowhere that we were all kind of surprised about as well. But we're not going to ruin that here. So we hope to see you guys back next week for First Blood. But until then, enjoy episode 13. What's up, folks, and welcome to another episode of Real Amigos. My name is Chris, and you are here at episode
13.
number
13.
See, this is the problem.
13.
This is the problem.
We were just trying to help you out.
I don't make a lot of rules. There's really only one rule, and that's that you don't talk until I just say your name. And both of you boneheads decided to just jump in.
We were just
there.
worried
you
would get it wrong.
That's true. I have been getting it wrong. We flip-flopped everything, and that's what happened. Those voices that you hear are not my split personality. Although, if you're not watching the video version, you may think they are. But they are my two co-hosts, Donnie and Phil. Phil, let's start with you, man. How are you today?
I'm well.
Yeah, you are well.
Yeah,
okay.
I feel great.
You
look good. You look good.
You look good.
Thanks.
You do look
I think
good.
my hair game's working today. I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah,
It could be Chris's hair game.
I mean, my hair is on fleek, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. It is.
Yeah.
Killer.
You could grow a sweet fro.
Dude.
Yeah.
We need a contest to make that happen.
Make that fro. Well, here's the thing. So we don't have great quality, but like if you can actually see, I haven't shaved or cut my hair since July.
It's because you work from home.
Because I work from home, so I don't have to.
Oh my
Look,
goodness.
I could probably braid these.
Do you ever
little things
brush
right
your
here on the
beard
side.
out so that like against the grain so that
It can't. Yeah, sometimes it does, dude. It's great. It's actually pretty because right before I went to Boston for my orientation, I trimmed up real nice because I didn't want to look like a crazy person. And then when I got back, I just stopped, and so it hasn't quite grown back the way that I wanted.
So
I'm sure your wife is thrilled.
So
with what?
I'm sure your wife is thrilled with that.
Oh, my wife. Christy actually likes it. Yeah.
So when I grew my beard back, I was with somebody from the church, and I hadn't really shaved my neck or anything, and they were like, "So, like." It was funny because they asked in a very nice way, but I could tell they were thinking, "So, do you shave your neck? Is it just gonna stay like that?"
Did they say? Do you have like cold neck?
Yeah.
Is that something that you struggle with?
What's the plan here?
I like to warm
that kind of. The question felt more like, "What's the long-term goal with this region?"
Well, if you guys didn't know, this is not the hair podcast. We are actually a movies podcast, and that's what Real Amigos is.
Yeah,
we're here to talk about movies. And to start us off, as we do each and every episode, not each and every episode,
That's a lot.
Every other episode.
Each and every other episode is what we like to call Donnie's Top 5.
Donnie's
Top 5!
Cinco de Mayo.
All right. So it's the most wonderful time of the year, boys. It's back to school. Back to school.
Oh, no. That is the opposite of wonderful.
Kids and adults love to celebrate the season, so I figured that we should do so as well here on Real Amigos.
All right.
So my top 5 is going to be themed around buses tonight. Buses. Not talking about a city bus like Red Heat or Speed. Not talking about a prison bus like Another 48 Hours. Not talking about a tour bus like Dumb and Dumber.
Uh-oh.
I'm talking about the kind
school buses
that brings joy to the hearts of children all over this great country, the school kind.
Mustard yellow school buses.
That's right. That's right. So
I was a
gather
school bus
round.
driver.
You were.
So was Miss Cheryl, right?
She was an aide on a school bus.
That's
I have driven a school bus on occasion.
I have ridden inside of a school bus. So
I was
Probably
riding
one
inside
that
of
I
a school
drove.
bus that Donnie decided to drive right through a red light. On the
I
way
don't
home
remember
from
that,
a
but
Lizard Kings
I don't
game.
remember that.
I don't doubt that at all. But anyway, so gather around, get your Trapper Keepers and your Protractors, and let's get pumped up for education
Pumped up.
with Donnie's top 5 or so big yellow bus scenes.
Yes.
Good deal.
Here
Let's
we
have
go. Let's start with a little something that I mentioned a little while back, and Chris really seemed to enjoy, so I threw it on my list. It's The Dark Knight from 2008.
Oh, what an awful movie.
A bank heist opening scene in which a school bus plows through the bank wall and kills one of the robbers. And it's a great scene despite the hate that Chris spews toward it.
No, it is a great scene. Like the scene is great because you think you know who is who, but they just keep picking each other off,
Keep
which is great.
picking each other off.
And
according to
plan.
plan. The Joker's plan.
And it's great because like he plans it because right at the end of the scene, all the lights turn green and it's nothing but school buses.
Yeah, and he pulls right out into traffic with all
crime.
the other buses. Yeah, it's pretty sweet,
Perfect
man.
crime.
Excellent. All right. At number 2.
It seems like you would just need to look for the bus with a lot of front end damage.
Seems like it.
Well, no, he backed in, right?
He backed in. That's correct.
Backed in.
Oh.
So look for back end, rear end damage.
For the one with the damaged up rear end. Anyway.
All right, number 2 on my list.
They drive them rough in Gotham, man.
Oh gosh. From 2004 is Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon Dynamite. When he takes
you fat lard, come and get your ham.
I don't understand that scene when he hangs the dude out the window and just drags it along.
Yep, action figure tied to a string.
I don't get that.
And he said, the kid questions him, "What are you doing, Napoleon?" He said, "What did he say? Doing what I want to do. Gosh," something like that.
Do what I want to do.
Do what I want to
sounds like
do.
Napoleon.
Was that dead on?
So good.
Did I nail that impression?
Yeah,
I love that scene though. It's a great scene. Those kids are completely baffled, as are the viewers, at what Napoleon is doing.
Which is a great way to set the stage for that movie.
While you're
much.
talking, I'm actually writing down Napoleon Dynamite. We're doing that movie.
All right, I am in for that. All right, number 3 on my list. Let's throw in a little spooky for Chris here, called Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge from 1985. In the opening scene, we meet our protagonist named Jesse and a bus that is in the middle of driving down the road and suddenly is in the middle of nowhere on a cliff. And Freddy makes his appearance and gets ugly from there. But it's a pretty interesting scene of everybody getting off on the school bus. So that's part 2, not to be confused with part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or Freddy versus Jason. All right. Coming in at the next number, whatever it is Ferris Bueller's Day Off from 1986.
Oh, yes.
Principal Rooney ends up walking down the street. The bus driver recognizes him after he's been defeated throughout the movie by one Ferris Bueller. And one of the students on the bus politely and kindly offers him a gummy bear. Check it out. It's a great scene.
Ferris Bueller's best.
They're warm, she tells him. They're warm.
Oh, gross. 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 You know, the only thing worse than a warm gummy bear is a warm mallow. You know what I mean?
So, I love warm mallows.
You take the mallow.
You put it on the gram. All right, coming in at next number is another one of Chris' favorites. It's Man of Steel from 2013, Phil.
Oh,
where Clark, as a child, saves all the other children after they go down, I guess, an embankment of some sort and end up in some water, and he saves them all. It's a pretty good scene. It's a good scene.
That was about the last good scene in that movie. So, yep.
There you go. Coming in at the next number is from 2002, Spider-Man. The opening scene of Spider-Man. Hey, stop the bus! Peter Parker banging on the side of the bus. Slow down! And the bus driver laughing his little head off, thinking that's the funniest thing ever. Not stopping at all until Mary Jane comes up and says, he's been running for like half a mile or something. So the bus driver reluctantly stops and lets Peter Parker get on the bus.
This was the
first one.
This is Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
At which point he gets on and gets tripped in the floor.
Since we got Homecoming, and Tom Holland is such a great Spider-Man.
There's also a bus scene in that as well.
I have a hard time going back to the originals and really liking them as much as I did. But at the time, man, that Spider-Man movie was just so movie, great, man. And Tobey Maguire was such a good Peter Parker.
I think so. I enjoy those movies still.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is still one of the best superhero movies.
Yeah, I agree. All right, coming in at the next number is a little film from 1971 featuring one of the guys who's made my lists earlier, Clint Eastwood. A little film you might have heard of called Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Where he is chasing down the Scorpio killer, and Scorpio takes over a school bus, and he is got a bunch of kids in there and decides to do some stirring renditions of Old MacDonald Had a Farm and Row, Row, Row Your Boat, followed by some slaps to the kids' faces and death threats to those same children.
And full confession, never saw that movie.
Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry? I've actually seen Dirty Harry.
It's a good one. And Clint's standing up on the bridge. Scorpio sees him when they drive under, and guess what? Clint jumps on top of the bus, and very shortly thereafter is the infamous, how many bullets was that scene? Do you feel lucky, punk? Anyway.
Do you?
Last one here on my list is a little film, one of my favorite 80s movies from 1984 called 16 Candles. 16 Candles, where Samantha and her friend Randy get into the school bus. Some nerds turn around from the seat in front of them, point their laser guns at them. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Ha-ha. Direct hit. Score. And her words are, I loathe the bus. So we understand why.
What was that? Pretty in Pink?
No. 16 Candles.
16
Molly
Candles.
Ringwald. Yeah.
Well, they were both.
Honorable mention. 2 quick honorable mentions. Number 1 is The Faculty, where, what's that guy's name? Josh Hartnett crashes his car into a yellow school bus, causing an alien, Famke Janssen, whatever her name is, to lose her head and pulls a Thing-esque comeback, crawling with tentacles on her head, as we've seen in John Carpenter's The Thing. And my last honorable mention, and the final entry on the top 5 or so list tonight, is a little film from 1982 called The Road Warrior, which features
a school bus.
Features a school bus as the gate to the refinery. It drives back and forth, keeping out the undesirables, if you will, scum of the earth in the apocalypse.
People like John Rambo.
For Donnie's, yes, exactly. That would be a great movie. I love it. He shows up at the refinery. Hey, I'd like to get in there and get some gas. So that is it for Donnie's top 5 yellow bus scenes.
I have a top 5 question.
All right.
Okay.
Did this quote take place on a school bus or a city bus? Are you ready?
I'm going to do my best.
Bonjour, Jean-Claude.
Dude, that is in a city bus.
Like a tour bus.
A tour bus in France.
Okay.
Spoken by a bunch of children to
Jean-Claude.
If looks could kill.
If looks could kill. Richard Grieco.
If looks could kill. Richard Grieco. Yep. Early 90s.
Oh.
There you go. That's all I got.
You bring up 16 Candles a lot, Donnie, and
it's a good movie.
It worries me a little bit.
He's a big John Hughes guy.
I like the movie.
He can't help it.
That is Donnie's top 5. Do this. If you're watching us on YouTube or if you're listening, let us know what your favorite school bus movies are. You can comment on our Facebook group or in the comments down below.
The entire internet is going.
I'm sorry, what?
My favorite school bus movie. I didn't know that was a category.
School buses in.
Hey man, I'm trying to expand people's horizons here.
I love it. I love it.
I try to throw in at least 1 or 2 semi-obscure movies on every list, so people will check them out.
All right, guys, it's that time again. It is topic of the week. So, what we do each and every odd show is we actually throw a question out that one of us deems worthy for the show, and then we talk about it for a little while, and then we try to get your feedback as well. And this week it's Donnie's turn. So, Donnie, what do you got? What are we talking about tonight?
All right, my theme for this week is inspirational movies. Movies that. Basically, you watch them, and they give you that feeling of, hey, lazy bum, get off your butt and do something with your life. That's what my
That's what you
theme
mean
is.
by inspirational?
Yes, I'm not talking about nostalgia. That's different. I'm talking about inspiration. Like, hey, man, I'm geared up. I want to accomplish something with my
You're the meaning
life.
in my life.
Yes.
You're the
Thank you.
inspiration.
Thank you, Peter Cetera. Okay, so I figured we could do like a top 3, 4, 5, something like that, and go through a little bit of a list.
I actually only wrote down 12, so I think
yeah.
Good
So
night.
Chris is probably going to cry at some point. Everyone, just be prepared for that. In fact, let's start with Chris. Chris, give us one of your let's do a round robin. Chris, inspirational movie.
We really can only do 3.
Just
Really
the faster you go, the more you can do.
Off the you can just like bullet point the rest of your list.
That's what I did last time.
I will start with the Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Okay, that has
what
come
did
up
this
before
inspire
with
you to do?
Well, it's not inspired me necessarily to do anything.
It inspired him to become a fictional fantasy
I'm just going with Donnie's definition. We had to get up off our butts and do something.
It inspires you to be better. I think it's kind of the idea, right?
Sure.
Could be. It's whatever you want it to be.
So for me, Return of the King is it's the culmination of 3 excellent films. But just kind of the dedication that you see Frodo go through to take the ring back, and then you finally get to that, we're back at Gondor, and we have that great scene where everybody's there, and Aragorn is finally crowned king, and he comes around the corner, and Frodo, bows to him, and Aragorn has that scene where he's just like, you bow to no man, and it's just so inspiring. To think that the little part that you can play in a great big story is, can be so. It just, for me, it's just the inspiration of, just play your part. Just
crying?
do what you can do. I'm not crying yet.
Okay.
But I might in a minute.
The more you talk about it,
you just do your part. You don't do it for praise. You do it because it's the right thing to do.
You're doing your part to make the world a better place, right?
I know. I love it. Anyway, so there you go. That's my first one. Return of the King.
All right, that's a good one. Return of the King. Phil, do you have something ready?
I do, of course.
All right.
Came to the top of my mind as the first movie that came to mind when you asked this question, and it has to be. And this movie's come up in other discussions as well. It's The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
I knew that
on
would
my
be
list
on your
too.
list.
I'm glad you did it.
Yeah.
Why is that on your list?
It's a live in the moment movie, man. It's like stop being on your daydream self and go out and seize things.
Seize the day.
Be seized.
It's a very
things
society.
Dangerous.
I love it, man. I love that movie. I love it.
It's great. It's great. Yeah. No, it's great because. And I'm gonna jump in here too because it was technically on my list.
Yeah.
I love Walter Mitty, and there are a couple of movies that are similar in that same vein. But the idea of this guy, he's us, right? He gets locked in his day job where he comes to work, and he doesn't really ever go after the girl that he wants. He doesn't take the risks that he should take.
Yeah.
And his life is passing him by, and he's living through these daydreams of what life could be. But he never just takes a chance.
Yeah.
And then he takes a chance, and he just realizes that life has so much more to offer than just the mundane that he's thrown at, that he's lived through.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great.
It's a fantastic movie.
It's good. It's a good movie. All right, I'll throw one out. A movie that I rewatched recently. It's called Big Fish.
My gosh, that's number 1 on my list.
Is it really?
Never seen
number
it.
1. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
It's,
Kristen hates this movie, and I love this movie.
Yeah, it's a Tim Burton movie with Ewan McGregor, and he's it's told in this interesting kind of fantastical style where his dad has all these kind of big fish tales that he tells about his life, and the son doesn't really believe that it's true, like it's a bunch of made up stuff. And then at the end of the movie, like it all comes together, and you like realize that even though he, definitely, kind of what's the word I'm looking
fabricated.
for? He didn't fabricate, but he
he
exaggerated a little bit.
Yeah.
But yet but he finds out these are all real people. His dad really played a part in all their lives, and he did all this cool stuff.
Oh my gosh!
And
this movie is so great.
If you like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, Phil, I think you would love Big Fish.
Oh
Big Fish.
Yeah, it's called Big Fish. Ewan McGregor.
Good.
It's a good movie.
Ewan McGregor's in it.
Very inspiring. You're like,
Is there Robert
man.
Duvall in it?
No, it has Albert Finney in it. He's
I
what's
like that guy.
her name? Helena Bonham Carter's in it.
Steve Buscemi's in it.
Yeah, he's in it too.
Well, of course, Helena Bonham Carter's in it. It's Tim Burton movie.
All right, back to you,
it's
Chris. Big Fish. Sorry, I took your number 1. I apologize.
So good. It's so good. So good. Crap. Now I don't know where to go.
Throw it down.
I just okay. So I'm gonna go one of my favorite movies of all time, probably top 3, Mary Poppins. And this.
What?
Sorry.
Hang on.
Sorry.
Hang on. Hang on.
Feels like I know what Phil's thinking. He's thinking I'm acting like Donnie right now. I need to not act.
These are personal inspiration.
I agree.
Movies, all right.
I'm not no criticism.
So, I've always loved Mary Poppins, but I've grown fonder of it as I've had children, and the whole premise of Mary Poppins is that Mary Poppins is not there to take care of the kids. Mary Poppins is there to teach you that it's your job to take care of your kids, and like you spend the entire movie where the parents are not really investing in the kid's life at all, and Mary Poppins just is there to remind them how precious the kids are and that their life is passing by right in front of them, and that it is a parent's job to be involved. It's a parent's job to take them out to the park and to do the things that they want to do and not just brush them aside.
Wow.
He has that whole monologue, that the dad has where children are supposed to be, not supposed to be seen or heard. Like, he has a whole song about how children are supposed to act exactly the way they're supposed to act. They're not supposed to be out of line at any point or have any individuality at all. And then you see Mr. Banks change throughout the entirety of the movie, where at the end of the movie he quits his job because he cares more about his kids than he cares about the lifestyle that he's lived. So I love it, and I think it's.
I like Mary Poppins. I just never would have thought of it as an inspirational movie.
I'm surprised that would have been a title I would not have thought would pop up on our inspiration.
She being a Hogwarts grad.
Every time I watch it, it makes me want to be a better parent.
All right,
good.
Phil.
I'm gonna go with a movie that may surprise you guys. It's a movie called Shall We Dance?
Oh, don't have that one.
Richard Gere, Jennifer Lopez, and can't remember who plays Richard Gere's wife.
Natalie Portman.
No, you'd know her.
Shut your mouth.
You'd know her if I saw her. Anyway, it's similar to Walter Mitty. Like, this guy's sort of just on coast. Susan Sarandon is in it also. This guy's sort of on coast. He's a good guy. He's in a lot of movies you would think this guy's gonna cheat on his wife to find himself. But instead he signs up. He always sees this woman in the window when he's passing this dance school, and it's Jennifer Lopez. And you kind of think they're going to develop a relationship between these two, but really he just becomes one of her students. He learns to dance.
To impress his wife?
Well, it bums his wife out a little bit because it's like, you had this whole secret from me, and that's kind of part of the tension. But then eventually, they dance together, and it invigorates him. So basically, you get this middle-aged guy going through midlife crisis who's feels static in his relationship, kind of with his wife and family. But instead of going into an affair, he just finds an outlet and snaps out of it, and his relationship with his wife is rescued. And by the end, they're clicking on all cylinders. So I liked it. I thought it's a romantic movie. I think your wives would like it, and I liked it a lot. Stanley Tucci is in it. Little plug for him. He's great in it. I just think he's awesome in that movie. So.
Nice.
As a fellow dance student.
All right, I'll accept it.
It inspires me to make sure my relationship is in check. Like, I'm doing the right things in my relationships, particularly with my wife.
All right.
You asked for inspiration.
There you go.
There's number 2.
All right, I'm gonna throw one out. I have a bunch too, but I'm just gonna roll with what I'm gonna toss them out one by one here. I'm gonna go with Chariots of Fire, 1981. The story of Olympian Eric Liddell. He refused to run in the race that he practiced in and was there in the Olympics for because they decided to run it on a Sunday. He refused to run on Sunday. And so he ran a different race that he had not trained for and ended up winning the gold medal in that. This is a true story, by the way, if you didn't know that. So he was a missionary. Became a missionary, and it's one of those movies where it's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna stand up for what's right. I'm gonna stand on my principles, and it's kind of, it's just inspiring to think that here's a guy that was willing to give up earthly fame and glory for for eternal things, and it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Plus, dude, you throw that soundtrack in, and it's just like the bomb, big time.
a good soundtrack.
So
I'll
yeah,
have
Chariots
to,
of Fire,
yeah.
1981, Best Picture, 1981.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Chris, back to you.
What do you say in that
Back to
movie?
me.
God Made Me Fast.
Yeah, God Made Me Fast.
All right. So. Oh man.
We'll let you name them all off, but just pick like another one to
know.
talk about.
I know. Crap. Okay, The Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith.
Never seen that.
I thought I toyed with that one.
So the gist of the movie is that he's kind of a down and out salesman. He can't really catch a break. He ends up getting custody of his kid, so he's a single dad with a kid, and he can't land a job. He has no income. He gets to the point where the IRS actually kind of seizes his money, and so they're literally homeless at a certain point. But
Don't they get on a spaceship and fly away?
No, that's the sequel. That's the sequel called After the Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay.
There is a really sad scene in that movie when they're sleeping in the bathroom at the bus station or like the subway station.
That sounds awful.
And he's there with his son, and he's trying to make the most of it. And there's a gut-wrenching scene in that movie, Chris, when he drops his guy, his superhero, like it was like a toy of his, and he's like a toy, he's like, and he's like, get on the bus, like he's just dragging along, and it was terrible.
It's hard. What I love about it, and what it's as far as being inspiring, it's like so often we think about people down and out because they've done something wrong or they've made bad decisions, but like this guy didn't make like bad decisions, but he was in a horrible place. Like everything had went wrong. He lost everything, and he just wants to be a good dad. He just wants to provide for his kid, and he finally gets a break. And it's really just a movie about perseverance and a movie about just being humble and being persistent and believing in yourself. And it's a great movie.
It's a good movie.
I love it. I love watching it. So it's good.
I've never seen it. I'll have to put it on my list.
It's good, man.
Writing it down. All right, Phil, what you
got? Fun comedy with a heart. Movie called The Bucket List.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Oh yeah, I saw that with you.
Yeah.
I really enjoy The Bucket List. It's
good.
And it's like, and it's inspires you to see through what you like. You never know where your next friend is, and kind of just that kind of sense of
I like it. No,
plus take life, don't take life for granted, kind of.
Right.
Those are my three.
No, no, that's Morgan Freeman's in that, right? Morgan Freeman,
Jack Nicholson. It's funny too, and
it's very funny.
Jack from Will and Grace is in it as their assistant, and he's funny in it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, man, I haven't seen that. I think I've only seen that once, and it's been I think I saw it. I may have seen it when it first came out. I remember liking it, but I don't remember.
It's a fun movie that'll pop up on like TV sometimes, like TBS or something like that. And I always want to watch it when it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. All right, I'm going to go with a really obvious one here. But I got to put it on there cuz actually I'm going to put two on here together, like on par. Braveheart. Braveheart.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm rolling with Braveheart.
What's the other one?
Gladiator. Gladiator.
Yeah,
okay.
I could have picked his
I have a Braveheart / too, but it's not Gladiator.
Braveheart, dude, is like just. I mean, what can you say about Braveheart? It's just like this dude standing up for, every oppressive,
freedom.
Yeah, freedom. That's right. It is. I couldn't think of the word.
That's what you can say about it.
That's exactly what he says.
Why does Donnie look like an Art Deco painting?
I know that. I don't think we have any control over that. Donnie, can you see it?
I don't know what you're talking about, but hey, whatever.
Wait till the video airs.
All right, Chris, we're gonna do a run through of other titles, but you got to go quick. Go.
Okay, I'll just go down. So I actually had Braveheart / The Patriot because they're basically the same movie, just one has an American flag. But I put Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy.
I put The Karate Kid.
Oh, that's on my list.
I put
my mother
Patch
stood
Adams.
up. My mother stood up in the theater and cheered at the end of the Karate Kid.
Oh man, the Karate Kid. The song.
And I'm not talking about
and
that
just the
garbage
moment.
remake. I'm talking about the real Karate Kid. Ralph
Yeah, the
Macchio.
real
I
Karate
liked
Kid.
the remake. They just shouldn't have called it the Karate Kid. It could have been
Kung Fu
called
Kid.
the Kung Fu Journals or
Smith's
something,
Kid.
and people would have liked it. But
Agree. I agree with
It
that.
shouldn't have been a
I like
remake.
the new movie too.
All right,
agree.
Karate
But,
Kid.
Karate Kid's
Great.
good. I had Patch Adams and then Apollo
yeah.
13.
dude, I got a
What was the
problem with
last one?
Patch Adams because Patch Adams is like, hey, this movie's really fun, and holy cow, that lady got murdered.
Yeah.
I didn't like Patch Adams.
And then
that
it's
much.
dark.
What was the
Oh,
last
man,
one you said?
I liked it. Huh?
What was the last one? You said?
Apollo 13.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's what inspired
Never
his
give up.
space career.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Or The Right Stuff. You
Oh.
could throw that in. That's a really good one too.
No, that's good too.
Phil, you got any others you want to toss, or are you done?
I only came up with 3. I mean, there's others. I think I would say this. This is gonna seem weird to you guys, but I watched Slumdog Millionaire on the way to adopt my second child.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Slumdog
I've never
Millionaire is just, even though it's not a movie about adoption, it just reminds you of the awful plight of orphans in third world countries, and it's a great movie for that reason. But it wasn't. I didn't put it on my list.
Yeah, Chris
Never
likes
seen
that
it.
scene where the kid's in the toilet and they dump all that poo on him.
It's the worst.
All
Those
right,
scenes
never
with the
seen it.
orphans, man. Anytime they're being chased,
Oh, yeah.
there's this sense of like, no, like you just want to stop it.
yeah, it's
When they
terrible.
boil that kid's eyes out, hot
Oh
lead.
gosh,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
I don't talk about it. Talking about inspiration, not talking about no downers.
Desperation.
All right, so let's do this.
I have a couple titles. I need to throw mine out.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I thought you did.
All right,
Go ahead,
a couple
go.
quick ones.
Go.
Jerry Maguire.
Oh, yeah,
I do. I love that. Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
To Kill a Mockingbird is a great one.
Oh, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Standing
Yeah.
up for the underdog in spite of an entire town that is against you. And here I'm going to throw these 3 in together because I literally get chills when I watch any of these 3 movies, like hair standing on end. Like, heck yeah, let's do this. Number 1, Chris, you already said, is Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Love it.
Danny
care how-
LaRusso is a jerk. I don't agree with that.
Don't care how that ending looks today. It's just, yep, love it. Number 2 is Rocky. I love Rocky, the original. Yo, Adrian, you're just like, heck yeah.
Yeah,
that
I would agree
is
with Rocky,
great.
for sure.
And number 3, this is probably my number 1, but I'm going to throw it in with these others, is Hoosiers. I
This
love
is good.
Hoosiers. When at the end, when he draws up the play for that other kid, and he leaves the kid out that's been making all the shots the whole game, and the guy that's been making all the shots goes, I'll make it, coach. I'm just like, heck yeah, give that dude the ball. Give him the ball. Love that movie. All right, that's it
Very
for
good, very good.
inspirational movies.
Inspirational movies. Do this for us. We would like to know if we missed one. If you're listening and you're screaming at the top of your lungs, how could you not have listed this? Let us know in the comments down below. We'd like to hear from you. All right, guys. So the last show, actually, episode number 12, we kicked off movie 20 questions, which we put kind of a softball out there. I've already gotten some criticism online that I picked Jurassic Park, and it was a relatively easy movie to guess, I guess.
And you,
But,
and you forgot that Philip is a mind reader, apparently.
no, but Phil called it on like the 4th or 5th question. So what we did
let me
though
get
is
this
we
straight.
actually,
The internet has decided to discredit my ability
That's right.
by saying you gave us a softball question.
Literally,
That's what
the statement literally made by Paul was that there was an insider leak or something.
No way, dude.
That was great. There was no insider leak at all. But I guess that maybe we just spent too much time together. So with that being said, what I did was I threw the call out on Facebook. You guys answered. I got a couple of options, and so we're gonna kind of do them, as we can. And so I'm actually gonna take our first movie from the listeners is gonna be from Aaliyah Miles, and she sent in our choice for tonight. So you have 20 questions, gentlemen, to
All right.
guess the movie that Aaliyah sent in. Whenever you are ready, you can start asking.
All right, Phil.
Start with
we got to go genre and
yeah. Let's start with genres and decades. So let's go with genre first. Is it a comedy?
No, not a comedy.
Is it animated?
No, it is not animated.
Is it a post 2000 movie?
Not post 2000.
Okay.
Before the year 2000.
All right. Not a comedy. Not animated. Okay. Oh boy. Is it is it a 90s movie?
It was released in the 90s, yes.
All right. 90s.
Is it considered an action movie?
It is a hybrid genre, and action is one of them, yes.
Donnie, does that mean action adventure, you think? Or action sci-fi?
No. Action adventure is
one thing.
That was a question for Donnie, so that you're answering it doesn't count against us.
No, I'm just helping you. I'm just helping you, letting you know
right.
how I think.
All right. 90s. Okay. Action part.
Think like Aaliyah.
I'm trying. That's why I asked if it was animated.
That's 5 questions, guys.
Boy. Okay.
90s movie, not a comedy, not animated.
Okay.
Not.
What? Does it
partly action.
Does the movie feature a oh boy. Does it feature a romance in it? And is there a romantic?
Oh crap, Donnie. Possibly, but the answer is no. It's not known for being a romantic movie.
Okay, so that's not a part. Okay, but not no romance. Action. What other genres mix with action? Sci-fi, maybe, Phil?
Let's ask. Does it have any? Is it sci-fi?
It is not. It is not classified as science fiction. No. It's not science. It's not science
90s.
fiction.
Is it a western?
It is not a western.
What else is left?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm talking about.
Has it ever won an award?
Not any that you would have heard of. No. It may have won a Razzie, but I'm not going to look it up right now.
Does it prominently feature any minority characters?
Not
lead characters.
No.
Okay.
No. That's 10. 10 questions
Holy
down.
Cow, are you serious?
You have a 90s movie that is partly action. It's not animated. It's not a comedy.
What the heck kind of genres are still left?
Not minority.
Action. Is it action? Is it action thriller?
Yes. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Real.
Donnie, we could be dealing with Bourne movies, right?
No, not in the 90s. You're dealing with action.
Any not great. He said it could have been a Razzie.
And look, hang on. I want to back up. I want to back up. I would say less thriller and more. Crap. No, I mean thriller. Yeah, thriller is the best way.
Man,
like suspenseful, maybe.
Action thriller.
Was it before 95?
No, it was after 95. So between 95 and 2000. Not animated. You could ask things like, what's it rated? Was it a female or a male lead?
You told us they had to be yes or no questions, so.
That's true.
Yeah, you could say, was it rated whatever,
Yeah,
or
okay.
did it feature?
Man, that's 11 questions down, isn't it, already?
No, you're at 12, my friend.
That was number 12.
Holy mackerel. Action thriller.
Do we want to throw out like an actor? Who was a big action actor in
I
the
was
90s?
thinking like you had Tom Cruise, you had like Mel Gibson as a big 90s guy.
Don't go down that road.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that. So it's post 95. It's an action thriller.
You can ask things like, is it part of a series? Does it have sequels? Is it a sequel?
Okay, is it part of a series?
It is part of a series, yes.
All right.
Is it the first one in the series?
It is the first one in a series. That's 14 questions.
So a series that kicked off after 95.
You got Mission Impossible in 96. You've got, now Chris said don't go down that route, but so I'm going to assume it's not Tom Cruise. Unless he's trying to throw us off.
What year did Speed come out, Donnie?
I wouldn't do that.
Speed came out in like 94. But it's the first of a series. I did do Speed too. Couldn't be Jurassic Park. It's action thriller. Lethal Weapon, that was 80s.
This is fun. This is fun, guys. I just want you to know that.
First of a series. What kind of series are there? Crying out loud. Action thriller, late 90s, not animated.
When did John Wick come out?
No, that's
way
later. When did
that's not a question.
When did Scream come out? Scream came out in 95, didn't it?
That would be a horror, though.
Did we ask that?
You said action. I don't think Scream would classify as an action movie.
But it was an action slash.
Yeah, but I don't think action would be any part of that.
All right.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think Scream came out in like 96 because I was in college.
It came out in 96. Is it part horror? That's a question.
It is part horror, yes. That's 15.
It's not Saw. Those came out in the 2000s. It could be Scream. It could, horror.
You have 5 questions left, guys.
Horror. I don't know any other like firsts, man, of horror movies. And I mean, you got all your Halloween's, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th were all 80s, 70s.
I'm kind of thinking Scream, but let's figure out if we can narrow it down.
Okay.
Aaliyah, I hope you're listening because this is
Ask an actor, Phil.
Was Drew Barrymore in it?
Drew Barrymore was not in it.
Okay, then it wasn't Scream.
Crud.
4 questions remain.
First of a series. Harry Potter didn't come out until the 2000s.
It's not really an action movie.
I know. I'm just naming like
you guys are thinking much higher of this movie than you should.
I don't know what that means.
They're like Naked Gun movies that came out in that time.
Naked Gun came out way back in the 80s.
Oh, dude.
Closer.
Horror.
Dude.
Scary movie.
Scary movie. Could be Scary Movie. Is it?
Does it star a Wayans brother?
It could be
Charlie's
Angels, Donnie.
Dude.
But Drew Barrymore was in that.
Not horror and no Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
So I just ruined that for us. I just asked.
You asked if it was a Wayans brother?
Yeah, so that's not it. First of a series? What in the world?
You have 3 questions left. 2 questions and then a guess.
Horror. What horror movies were there?
Dude, I have no earthly idea.
Okay. All right. It could be the Blair Witch Project. Because that came out in 99, and they made another one after that. And he said don't go down the path of actors. It had a bunch of nobodies.
They were a bunch of nobodies.
But I wouldn't call that an action movie by any stretch of the imagination.
No, there's no...
That's
There's
my whole
no
thing with it.
action in
It's
that.
zero action.
It's actually quite boring.
It's
And for the record, I'm reading off IMDb, so
It's
if
a
you get mad about
non-action
what the
movie.
choices are.
first
I'm
of
not
a
classified.
series. Not Scream, not Scary Movie, not Born, not Jurassic
Wait a minute.
Park.
Wait a minute. The 90s you had the I Know
What?
What You Did Last Summer movies. There was a couple of those.
There was.
Let's think about Aaliyah in the 90s. Is that the kind of thing she would have gone to see? Some campy
She
teen?
likes scary movies. Yeah, so that would be.
I want to help you guys so much.
that
but
would
I
be up
can't.
her alley. But man, 2 questions. We're gonna have to narrow it.
You said Drew Barrymore was not in it.
Not in it, no.
When did Scooby Doo come out? I think that was 2000s.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to probably. Oh my gosh, horror, first of a series. Oh man, what series? Thriller.
You've got
You got to wrap it up, guys. 2 more questions.
You've got it's action, kind of thriller horror. You've got first of a series after 95, not animated.
It's not The Ring, because that was 2000s. Now, Leah, I'm telling you, I know she watched a lot of scary movies. It could be one of those I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, but I don't know. I'm not sure they came out in the 90s, did they?
I feel like I watched them in college.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to drop one of our questions right here.
We have 2 more
do it.
questions.
I'll take one. You can have the other one. Does it star Sarah Michelle Gellar?
It does not star Sarah Michelle Gellar.
All right, Phil. That's all up to you.
That's your whole I Know What You Did Last Summer.
That's the
it.
whole
Series.
franchise.
That's gone.
2 questions.
So
What
no
in
Sarah
the
Michelle
world?
Gellar,
You gotta
no
guess.
Drew Barrymore. Horror movie that is also considered an action movie.
Action. Horror. I'm going to kick myself for this.
Part of a series. First in a series.
It's...
We got one more question?
1 more question, then you have to guess.
But it's the horror thing that's throwing me off.
Yeah, me too.
Because, like, you had movies like, these aren't guesses, you had movies like,
Sixth Sense.
Bad
That's not a
Boys.
series.
But those, I'm talking about series
Bad
that
Boys
didn't kick
would
off,
be
but it's not a
horror.
horror movie. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
Right. That
Yeah.
doesn't qualify. Rush Hour. That doesn't qualify.
not scary, unless you count the comedy not scary.
We
One
got
more
to guess.
question and a guess.
You got to guess.
Sorry, Chris. We got to go.
Don't go with an actor. Go with a year. Try a year. I'm good with years. I might be able to nail it.
That's not going to help you. Phil, ask this question.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Is the antagonist human?
That's not going to help, but I mean, is the
What's the
is the
question?
antagonist human, Chris?
No, the antagonist is not a human. You
Donnie.
have to make a guess.
What? It's not the Terminators.
No, it's not. It's those movies with the kids that die.
Wait, what?
I don't know what
Movies
you're
with the
saying,
kids
bro.
that
Child's
uh,
Play.
The ones that they think they're gonna like, they miss the plane that crashes, and then death
Oh.
chases them the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're saying
Is
Final
it-
Destination.
Is it
Final
Final
Destination.
Destination?
Is that your guess?
I don't know, Donnie. What do you think?
Yep. We're gonna guess it.
It is not Final Destination.
Oh.
The movie was a 1999 action horror film, Lake Placid.
Lake Placid.
Lake
Where-
Placid.
Bill Pullman and
Oh
Bridget
my God.
Fonda
I
and
know
Oliver
the movie.
Platt
I've seen the movie.
It's a good
and
movie.
Betty White
Also has
take
Betty
on
White in
a
it.
giant alligator, which turns into Lake Placid 2 and Lake Placid 3.
Good grief, Phil! You got my hopes up
Subsequent
last time when we
films.
nailed this thing. This is
Yeah.
harder than I thought.
I can't believe that is
So,
considered horror.
Yeah. See,
or
here's the
action.
trick.
Yeah.
You guys know how I think, which is why Jurassic Park works so well. But now you're going against complete
No, that sounds
blindsided
like an Aaliyah
answers here.
movie, especially coming after Jaws. She probably did that on purpose.
All right, so Aaliyah, if you're keeping track, that's Aaliyah 1, Real Amigos 0. And that is it for this week's version of 20 Questions.
Sorry we failed you
great.
miserably.
That was great. All right, topic of the week. This is Donnie, so I'll lead us in, and then Don, you can kind of do your thing. All right.
Okay. Topic
All right,
of the
guys.
week. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, my bad.
Can I
Go
talk
ahead.
one at a time?
I misunderstood what you were doing.
No, I said I'll lead us in,
All right.
and then I'll let you do your thing.